Welcome to Getting Rich with Rich. I'm Rich, founder of Under the Radar Report. It's great to be back. Today I want to talk to you about the markets just quickly and then about some stocks that can really help you with managing your portfolio. So the first thing to say is that the momentum trade never actually stopped. It stalled a bit and then got kick-started by Donald J. Trump. That's right, it's gathering speed again. The animal spirits have been unlocked, and the overall market is led ambiguously by the US. So there are some dull spots, notably exporters into the US, but by and large, we're seeing those animal spirits really ignited. And they're ignited by a combination of tax cuts and the regulatory green light, or really the absence of regulation anticipated in the US. So basically, that's a positive thing, yes, but interestingly, the market's not factoring in inflation to any great degree. I mean, the 10-year treasuries, the common risk-free rate, they're like at 4.2%. They're as high as 4.6% in May. So it's really a Goldilocks scenario for the markets. And what we're seeing as well as that, actually, which is probably more interesting, is a rotation out of expensive stocks. So some of those really expensive tech stocks are getting sold, on valuation grounds, and people are looking for value. Like that's happening in the US, but it's also happening here under the radar. I mean, we've seen some huge gains. We've seen the carbon fiber specialist Quickstep really, doubling in value. We've seen Austal, the shipbuilder, Silk Logistics, the ports provider. We've seen SomnoMed this week. These stocks have gone up 50% and more in a matter of days. So that's the kind of gains we're seeing, in small cap world. It's exciting, but let's talk about what we're trying to do here at Under the Radar Report. What we're doing is we're looking for stocks that give you that 3 bites of the cherry. I've mentioned this a couple of times on Getting Rich with Rich, but I think it's worth just talking a bit about it because it really does underline the strategy that we've got here at Under the Radar Report and has been behind some recent recommendations. I mean, first you get the survival bias, right? So these stocks are small, they're ignored, and then the market sees, they're going to survive, so they buy them. Then you get improvement in earnings, which again leads to more buying. And if that improvement continues and is considered sustainable, you get a multiple re-rating. So you get the double whammy. Then, if that keeps going, you get, the airlift ETF effect. So if you get the airlift ETF effect, what does that mean? It's in an index. So, a major index where index-linked ETFs are forced to buy it. So, in Australia, that's typically the S&P ASX 300. So that's what a lot of institutions are looking for. That's what fund managers are trying to see at the small cap end of the spectrum, is they're trying to pick stocks that get into that. Whereas we as individual investors can go through the entire curve and get gains that just aren't possible for these guys. So in the past 2 weeks, we've uncovered 2 stocks that meet that criteria. So that's why it's so exciting. A water specialist, Visun, and a security specialist, Intelligent Monitoring. So these are stocks that we cover, which, we're excited about. But on the other hand, what we're looking for is stability in our portfolios. So they're sort of growth stocks that we're looking for, but we've been around for a long time. I mean, I know I don't look it, but we've been around for a long time at Under the Radar Report, and we have really good experience at judging companies that were small cap and moved into the mid cap realm, but are definitely at the big end of the small cap spectrum at the very least, and we're very confident about their valuation. So 2 stocks that meet that criteria: Northern Star Resources, which I first tipped many years ago, like 10 years ago. Another one, Elders, a rural services group. So these are 2 stocks that we've seen maybe sold off slightly, but we like their fundamentals for different reasons. And, we've put a lot of analysis behind our valuations, which we cover off on in this week's report. So look, it's exciting times, but you'll see a lot more of these sort of stocks with risk ratings in our best buys. So I really encourage people to look at the best buys. The bottom line is that we aim to give our members opportunities that you won't get anywhere else. That's why we're here. That's what we're providing. Looking forward to talking to you soon. Get rich with Rich.